Welcome to the East Surry High School Taking Flight podcast. I'm Tamara Inman, and I'm here with Michael Fischer from the East Surry boys wrestling team. I have a few questions for you today. The first one is, what inspired you to start wrestling?
In sixth grade, I didn't make the basketball team, so then I started wrestling.
Okay, and there are any specific role models that you now look up to as a wrestler that influences you?
Not really, just like a bunch of people who win like world championships and stuff. Just watching them makes me want to win stuff, I guess.
How has wrestling impacted like your personality and how you act throughout your day-to-day life?
Just made me like more hardworking and stuff, and makes me strive to reach goals, I guess.
Okay, and going off of that, what kind of goals do you have this year for wrestling?
My goal is to place top 3 in the state for wrestling.
Okay, and how do you juggle wrestling and keeping up with all of your academics together?
Just like focusing on academics during school, and then after school or in the mornings, wrestling.
Okay, and what like ritual or routines do you do before a wrestling match?
I usually just pray before the match and listen to music or something and stretch and get warmed up.
Do you and any of your friends do anything together or after a wrestling match?
Not really. I like to just be by myself usually before the match.
Michael has been taking flight as an East Surry wrestler. Next up is Skylar Spencer. Here we have Skylar Spencer from the East Surry women's wrestling team, and there are a few questions I want to ask you today. The first being, what inspired you to start wrestling?
So I think my first inspiration came from my brother. He no longer goes here, but he started wrestling, I think, when he was a freshman, and I went to one of his matches, and it was kind of just like a feeling that I don't think I really ever had it before, but I was just so proud of him, and the sport was just seeming so interesting to me and all the support from everyone, so that was probably my biggest inspiration to start.
Yeah. And the second question I have for you today is, like, what kind of challenges do you face as a female wrestler?
So I would definitely say some stereotypes about female wrestling. That's a big challenge. The way people look at you when you're doing something that you're not expected to do. I would say staying fit is definitely a challenge because that's really a hard sport to do. And I just think that having a mindset in that sport, a very strong one, is also a challenge.
Yeah. Would you mind elaborating on, like, what kind of stereotypes people just think when they see you as a female wrestler?
Mm-hmm. So I think that when people see me, they're kind of just like, especially guys too, in wrestling, I think that, you know, you're kind of just like stereotyped, okay, well, you're either good or you're bad, and they don't really look at the process of the setbacks and the stuff that pushes you forward to be skilled in this sport. I think that some stereotypes are like maybe someone not being good enough. So I know, like, when I first started, people didn't really want to wrestle with me because they just thought that I wasn't going to be able to handle myself and think that I'd get hurt really easy, and they didn't want anything to do with it. But now that the team's growing and there's more girls involving themselves in it, everyone's getting more comfortable in the environment.
Okay. A different topic now.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of, like, routines do you have before or after a meet?
So before, we usually, like, let's say we're going to a match away from home, so we usually ride the bus, and then all the time there's, like, guys specifically that don't make weight, and they'll be running up and down the aisles trying to prepare themselves to weigh in, and then we'll get to the school. And we're obviously separated, so we go down and we change into our singlets and whatnot, and we actually meet a lot of the other girls that are going to be there, if there are girls, and we kind of get together before matches. We pray on the mat, which is something that's, like, literally my favorite thing. We go and we talk and we conversate, and before the match, what I do, I try to, like, calm my nerves, because wrestling is a big part of my life, and I get super nervous. But what I've been doing recently is I've just been pacing back and forth, breathing in and out, kind of calming myself, and then I'll have my match. And whether I win or lose, I used to have some setbacks. Like, if I was to lose, I would kind of get really emotional, but now I've kind of calmed my mindset to, when I lose, take it and then view it towards the end. And I would just look at my mistakes, go back and fix them. But after a match, we get together, we talk about the things that we didn't do well and things we did do well, and then we view it and then fix it towards the end of our next match.
Is there any advice that you would give to younger women that are trying to get into wrestling as they get older?
Yes, I would say to definitely try it. I feel like people don't look at it as a sport for women, but when you go and you push the things that people don't really see normal, it starts this whole big act in some type of way. I would say that if it's something you're interested in, I would definitely pursue it, especially as a female, because it's been a big part of my life. It's helped me overcome mental challenges, mental goals, physical goals too, keeping myself in shape. I think it's something great that if you're interested in it as a female, it's some experience that you should at least try.
Okay, and the last question I have for you today is, what are the goals and achievements you're looking forward to achieving this year?
I'm definitely looking forward as a short type of goal to bond the team together more, because we're still having some girls come and try out, see if they like it or not. So that's a goal that I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to trying to get past regionals this year. I went last year, and it was a good experience. I just wish that I could probably try a little bit harder and increase my workouts when I go to practice, since they're literally almost every single day. Try to get better at those and then work towards going to states, but if not that, being there for the girls that are still learning and have a little bit of ways to go for the team.
Spencer is taking flight as an East Surry women's athlete. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below.